Okay, so I'm back down here at the generator. So as you know, I recently just replaced this generator with a brand new one. And even though the trolls told me it was a mistake to buy this generator, I've been really giving this a lot of thought. It just kind of dwells on me, actually, why I disagree that this was a bad idea. So I had a, the first generator I bought was a cube style inverter generator. So the Champion generators came in a cube. I don't think they had the suitcase style when I bought my first generator. And we traveled around the country with it for about a year. Ran great. And it got burned up in the fire. So, you know, I spent, I don't know what it was, $400 or $500 on it. So I had to buy another one, another cube style. Now, about that time, they were starting to come out with the suitcase generators, but I believe the cube style was cheaper. So I went ahead and bought another cube style. I mean, I loved them. There was nothing wrong with it. But we stored it for, I think, 30 days while we were hooked up at electrical sites. And the carburetor got messed up on it. Now, we were out traveling. I could have fixed it. I understand we could have fixed it. People still think I should have fixed it. But it was easier to go buy another generator than to deal with that, because we were getting ready to go to New Mexico. We're just getting ready to leave, actually, when it went out. I was actually testing to see if that generator would work before we left. And so we only had that one for about a year also. So you figure now we're up to $800 in 2 years for a generator. So we ran off to the Tractor Supply store and got a suitcase Champion generator. Same type of generator as the cube one, but this one was a black suitcase. And again, probably probably about $400. Now, that one smoked from the very first day I got it. I was always disappointed that it smoked, but it lasted forever. And let's see, I think we had it for about 8,000 hours. And then it wasn't, I would imagine the rings were starting to lose compression on it. I didn't have all the test equipment that I got now, but I would imagine it was the rings. Once it heated up, it just lost power. So we went and bought the dual fuel generator. And we ran it for a bit, but then her son stayed with us in the camper for summer. And he needed air conditioning, so we loaned him the dual fuel while I bought this one. Eventually, we bought a second dual fuel, but that was because it went on sale. As a matter of fact, I didn't take it out of the box for about a year. So we ran this one, and we just stored the dual fuel after her son left. So, I mean, it's going to have a few hours on it, but it still runs flawlessly. And again, that's a Champion generator. Now, those Champion generators run $500-600, somewhere around there. So they're expensive, the dual fuel. Now, you can get a gas one for about, I guess, $100 less. But if I ever get them, I'm going to get the dual fuel. I like the dual fuel. I like the option, especially since I store them so much. I don't have to put gas in and then drain the gas out. And I'm using those for using those for welders. So we ran this one for 31 months. Now, when I first reported to you that this thing died, I said it probably had about 600 hours on it. And I've really given that a lot of thought. And that is just fundamentally wrong. That's not even close to how many hours this thing has on it. And the reason I was thinking about this was this morning I was thinking about starting this up because it was foggy and I didn't know if the sun was going to come up. Well, it did, but I started this up for a second, went in there, checked my my amperage, my amperage, and realized, oh, I don't need to run this. So, I mean, I only had to run it for a couple minutes. And so then it got me to thinking, you know, I used to run this once an hour every day. I would get up in the morning, I would put the coffee on, I'd come down, I'd start this. I would edit my video, and then I'd get up and shut it off. And the reason I did that was because when I got to 4:30, I had that new computer. It's a laptop, and it used more power than this little tablet thing that I had. I always had this little tablet thing because of power issues. So when I got the laptop, I was concerned that running the laptop off the batteries would take too much energy. And so instead of risking it, I just started the generator for an hour. Charged the batteries a little bit, and then of course it's dark when I'm editing. I get up at 4:30 and run it for an hour. It's 6:30. Well, in the summertime, you know, it's starting to turn daylight. Or I should say 5:30. And by 6:30, it's starting to turn daylight. Well, in the wintertime, it's still dark. Well, I don't know. There was something. And earlier this year, I thought, you know what? I'm going to try not to start the generator. And so I edited my video, came down here, I looked at it, and we still had plenty of power. So I thought, you know, running this generator in the morning, it's just a waste of gas. So I did that for 2 years. So you figure 365 days a year. For 2 years, I ran it for 1 hour. So that means that, what are we at? 365 and 600, 700. Yeah, we're probably up close to 800 hours just running it that 1 hour every morning for 2 years. Now remember, I had this almost 3 years now. But this last summer, you know, since early spring until it gave up the ghost, we didn't run it. So almost 800 hours just for that 1 hour a day. If my math is right, it seems logical. Plus all the other times we ran it. I mean, when, you know, bad weather, cloudy days, you're running it. In the morning, I would run it 3 hours to charge the battery, and then in the evening, if we didn't get any sun, I'd have to run it for another 3 hours in the evening. So there's 6 hours on cloudy days. I mean, I would try not to start it in the morning. If we can get enough sunlight where I can get 5 amps from each charge controller, so that's total 10 amps, that was enough to get me through the day, and then I'd only have to run it in the evening. So, you know, but there's still, I mean, especially in the fall and the spring, and some in the winter, there's a lot of cloudy days. So just given the springtime, as many cloudy days there is in the springtime, you know, we got 3 or 4 months there where you're just running, 6 hours a day. So that's almost impossible to calculate. But let's say we, out of 3 years, we put another 600 hours on it. So now we're up to what, 1,400 hours? And then of course, when we go to the grocery store, we run this for 3 days every night. The freezer won't shut off. We put raw meat, unfrozen meat, raw meat in the freezer, and the freezer won't shut off for 3 days. So there is, I don't know, 36, 48 hours, something like that, depending on if it's cloudy or not, just to freeze the meat. So I'm saying we're up to 2,000, 3,000, let's just call it 2,000 to 2,500 hours on this cheap $300 generator. It has done a fantastic job. The website that I went to look at it said this thing's only going to last 600 to 800 hours, and here we've probably doubled that, more than doubled that, maybe even tripled that. So I think it's done a fantastic job. Now, I could replace the rings, except I can't find any parts. That is the downside to buying that, is I can't find parts for it. It would be a cheap fix, roughly 60 bucks, plus gaskets, of course. I don't know how much those are, if I could find parts for it. Its sister generator, which is a 2-cycle generator, has the same amount of power. It was $60-something for the rings. So, assuming that's the same cost. So here now we've spent what, $250? Let's call it $250 on this generator. And I've already contacted the company, and they have parts. So that's already a plus. They just contact us, we'll get you the parts that you need. Now, I'm not saying they won't go out of business like this company did, The interesting thing about this company is they're making other products too. They're making regular generators. They're making like Honda engines for your log splitters and that kind of stuff. So it looks like they're trying to get into the business. But the thing is, you know, I've only had this since last Tuesday. This is Sunday, so Tuesday to Sunday. And it's already got 47 hours on it. And the reason is it was cloudy earlier in the week when we got it. And we went and bought meat. Now, typically we try to buy meat when it's sunny out. That way we only have to run the generator at night. But when we got it, I mean, we've been cloudy for up to when it got sunny. We'd probably been cloudy for 3 weeks. So we had to go get some food. So we ran this when I got home with the meat. We ran it from, I don't know. We ran it all day and then all night. And so I got up 4:30 in the morning, shut it off, and then I had to run it again the next night. And I ran it to, so let's say 8 to probably 8. So there's 12 hours. So it's got 47 hours on it. I'm getting ready to change the oil again at 50 hours. So if that right there should tell you the amount of hours this has on it. In a week's time, we've put nearly 50 hours on this new generator. Now, that's not every week we do that, but at least, let's say, once a month, maybe. We put 50 hours on it. In extreme cases. Now, during the summer, it's a lot less. I hardly ever run it in the summer. But in the fall and the winter and spring, I run it quite a bit more. So, I don't think it was a bad idea. If you're just needing some low power runtime, which is what these are. This is 1500 watts max, you know, peak. 1200 running watts. This one's 1500 peak, 1000 regular running. So if you're just needing to run, well, like the battery charger, that's, you know, this probably was, the battery charger is probably 400 to 600 watts. So easily could handle it. Now I have ran this pretty hard. For a while I was running 2 battery chargers. To the max of this generator. So we were at 1000 watts. And it says don't do that. And I did it anyways. So, you know, it's not like it was babied. It has sat out here underneath this piece of metal. You can see there's some fading on it from the sun. So it's not been babied. It's been in rough conditions. Worked very hard. And it still runs. Just I haven't done it in a while, but let's just see if it still runs. Pull the choke. The gas is off. I didn't take that into consideration. Okay, we'll turn it on. Started them both up, see if I could hear a difference. I can definitely hear a difference. I can't hear the yellow one at this distance right here. I can only hear the red one. So that's the thing, is the yellow one is cheaper. It was what, $60 cheaper than the red one, and it's just a better generator. They're getting better all the time. Let this one die. I'm gonna shut the gas off, let it die. So I guess my point is you know, all the trolls, I don't even know if they were trolls, just people. You know, the thing is they'll tell you, you need to buy a Honda generator. But like I said, you know, I've had the worst luck with generators. One was in a fire. The other one I had to replace because of gas left in the carburetor, and I just didn't have the tools and the time to fix it. And then the black one, it just, we ran it to death. Granted, the black one lasted 8,000 hours. The red one, 2,500 hours. But the difference is this one used a ton less gas than the Champion, a ton. So the difference in pricing we made up just by saving gas. So I'm going to jump off of here. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video on my new channel. It'll be a brand new video today. So hope I can inspire you to analyze everything so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.